I'm JustHitSquare, and welcome back to another gameplay video on The Division. Today, guys, I'm going to be showing you another build of mine that I just recently put together. And there was a lot of hours put into this to get this gear set. Now, mind you that there is still armor on it that needs to be higher, but this is the best I can get at the moment. And as hard as classified gear sets are to get, I did the best I could do. But other than that, guys, this is the final measure 6-piece classified set. And just before we start, I do make my builds the way I see that they was intended to be built. I do not claim that these builds are better than yours. I just think that this is my opinion. Take it the way you want. This is the way I build them. And this is the way I've built Final Measure 6-piece classified. So hopefully you enjoy the video. If you do, then maybe you'll build it for yourself. Now, other than that, guys, let's go into our abilities. I picked Booster Shot, and you can see I got 136,104 whenever time I shoot that. I'm going to be healed for that, and the ally will be shot and hit for 121,521. And the cooldown on it is 25.6%. And you can see that my skill power is 233,268. That still wouldn't be quite enough to raise it down to that cooldown, so I will be showing you why and how that happened here in the moment. Alright, we got right here, we got the turret, and we've got the active sensor. I'm not using shock or flame turret. And the reason why I'm using this is simply put, it may not have the most damage, but it really does hurt the enemies pretty good, and plus, like it says, increases the turret's damage and pulses attack to targets, making them invisible to all allies. So if you're running with people and you threw your turret down in a different area, and this turret actually shot one of them that you didn't see, an enemy, then you'd know where they're at. And it just pretty much puts a lot of hurting on them. And it's like extra DPS. When you don't have a really good build as far as when it comes to DPS, you like to try to do something else to take up that damage for you. And a lot of my builds are skill based, so that's why I did pick this, because it's kind of like a skill based type thing that I'm doing right here with the Final Measure 6-piece. And I really do like this gear set. And you can see that the damage output is 6693, and the health is 270,824 with 25.6 seconds to cool down. So you can actually get this back before it even gets done doing its thing. And we also got right here, we've got the recovery link. Pretty much that's what I run a lot of. Pretty much that's every time I'm running with this. We'll go over to the talents, and I did put adrenaline on like I always have this. This is the main thing that I picked because I want my heals over time. And then if you're running with teams, I always compensate for that. And I got combat medic. Use to make it and their allies to heal group members and proxies within 20 meters by 40%. And also I done tech support, kill a hostile while any skill is deployed to extend any active skills duration by 10%. And that's the thing, the gun I'm running with is a lightweight M4, and they shoot very fast. And you have a really good chance of killing somebody and extending your skills, so it's really good when you have the turn up and you can have it even longer applied, and therefore you can try to put out more damage without having to reset it. And you also have on the move, and the reason being is because I'm trying to be moving around as much as possible. This is final measure. You're trying to detonate the grenades, so you're moving around, trying to move around as quickly as possible to get the buffs and stuff like that. We'll go into detail on how good this set is as far as capturing grenades and defusing them. But anyways, I really do like doing this because it gives more chance for me to not be taken down as easily. Alright, other than that, guys, let's go ahead and get to the beans and potatoes on this. And First and foremost, we're going to go over primary DPS is 212,347. We got toughness of 286,078, and we got skill power 233,268. Firearms is 3147, stamina is 5543, and electronics is 7332. Now, like I said, most of my builds is going to be based on skill power, and honestly, I could have went straight firearms and had a lot of fun with this build as well. But considering that I wanted to try to be more of a tanky build, I went with skill power in order to get my skills back quicker, and therefore make this build a lot funner than what normally it would be with just straight up DPS, because there are some builds in this game that are not meant for just straight DPS, but anybody can make a DPS build. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry, but it's just too easy to make a number bigger for your firearms. Alright, so what we're going to do is actually go into, first and foremost, I'm going to go into my character, and I'm going to show you right here that I only got 6% chance. This is assault rifle, and I got 49% critical hit damage, and you can see that my headshot's 75%, and the stability is 39%, the range is 28 meters, the reload is 2.66 seconds. And then we'll come down here and we'll see damage to the leech is 22%, enemy armor damage is 23%, and then skill power is 233,268. Skill haste is 34%. That's why my skills can be cooled down as quickly as they do with that kind of skill power. Alright, now we'll go down to survivability. My toughness is 286,078. Max health is 193,336. And armor is 32.42% weapon damage, and that's mitigates, so it means that the max armor is a little bit over 33%, so I'm not too far off. And my health regen is 9667, and the protection from elites is 30%. Exotic damage resilience, this is final measure, and I will be showing you how I did get this. And then before I do tell you, this is actually 75% damage, exotic damage resilience. It's really good, so it helps if you know, I don't got a lot of health and toughness, so when I do get hit by a grenade or anything like fire and stuff like that, then yes, it's going to actually reduce my damage input or income for that, and it's going to make it a lot better for me. I'm going to be able to take a lot more than normal people would. Now, here's the thing, guys. I have put 2.5% exotic damage resilience originally on all of my mods, and also rode the max exotic damage resilience on all gear pieces, and of course with the 6 pieces all together, the 5 pieces actually is what makes it happen. You get 40% exotic damage resilience, so I had to put in 35% more in order to get the 75%, which wasn't hard, but I've put every piece that I just said on, and it maxes at like a 82 or 83%. Now the thing is, I don't know how high it is. Maybe they just ain't got a cap on it, and they're allowing you to put as much exotic damage resilience on it as you want. But the reason why I only went with 75% is because I wanted skill haste as well. So I wanted to be able to cool down my skills a little bit more. I thought 75%, that's only 25% of any kind of grenade that hits me that's going to hurt me. It's only 20. I'm only taking 25% of that damage from a grenade. I'm only taking 25% of the fire and stuff like that. Now, of course, I can be caught on fire, but as far as that's exotic damage. So, and like sticky bombs, if somebody had a sticky bomb that they had that was a million or 2 or 3, whatever it is, I'd only take 25% of whatever damage that could output. So it's really good in a pinch. And a lot of people will say that when it comes to final measure, that it's more of a situational thing, and to be honest with you, they are kind of right, because there is incursions that make it where it's more better for those, and of course in the boss runs and stuff like that and other runs, they do throw grenades quite often. They are a lot of good grenades, you know, not good grenades, but they are like a lot of certain grenades that you can count on to get a boost from this piece, or the final measure. So I will be talking about it here in a moment. There's 28% burn resistance as well, and 31% shock resistance. So You're in the DZ, you're going to get 28% burn resistance with this build and also shock resistance of 31%. So if they try to shock you, there's a 31% chance that you're not going to get shocked, and there's 28% on burn resistance that you're not going to be able to be burned. And that's not really that bad considering of all the other things that I have put into this build. Now, there was pretty much a lot of info to let you know how this build works. Now, we're going to be showing you the rest of it. Now, the gun I did choose was the lightweight M4. The reason being is because I don't have a lot of DPS. And I figured I'd go a different round this time with a gun, so I went with a lightweight M4. I put all the max stability mods on the gun that I do have, and I've got it up to where I do, so I want it to be stable because it shoots really fast. And I could lower the RPMs to make it a little bit more steadier, but I felt like I wanted to have more of a better time to kill. And we have a 23% enemy armor damage on it with a 15.4k damage per bullet. That's just straight without anything taking effect. And RPMs is 893. The mag is 66. And we can go and we can see we got talented on it. This is a skill based build, so every time I kill a person or NPC or agent, I'm going to get boosted with my skill power. And self-preserve, this critical hits with this weapon heal the user for 3% of damage dealt. Yes, I don't even have 10% that I know of critical hit chance, but if you're running with somebody that's got a good pulse, or every once in a while you're going to hit a critical hit chance or critical hit with this. So therefore, it shoots very fast. So hopefully you can get at least 2, maybe 3 out of each magazine that's going to be able to heal you. And it's just a little bit more healing. That's all it is. And besides, it's hard with the firearms being 3147 to really unlock all talents on your weapon. Also, we got competent weapon damage is increased by 10% for 15 seconds after using a skill. If I had to pick, I would have picked responsive because I like being 10 meters within somebody shooting this gun. But considering I can pop a skill every 25.6 seconds, or I believe that's what it was, yeah, then I actually can be able to be able to have competent activated quite often. We got an extended mag of 120.5% magazine size, 4.5% reload speed, and 5% rate of fire. We got a large optics with 13.5% stability, 3% critical hit chance, and 2% accuracy. We got a large muzzle with 13% stability, 3% critical hit chance, and 4% critical hit damage. And we got a large underbarrel with a 12.5% stability, 4% critical hit damage, and 4.5% reload speed. Yes, I could be a little bit better on this and that, but these are the best mods I have at the moment. And guys, you're probably asking me in most of my videos, why do you never show the second gun that you do have? Okay, look, talents ain't even actually activated on it. It's kind of worthless. And the thing about it is that I'm never going to run out of the bullets on my first pick, and that's what I always run with. I hardly ever will choose to go to my secondary. Now, Lone Star is kind of a different thing, but with normal builds that I do build, no. Alright guys, so now we're going to go into actual pieces and start showing them off to you. Okay, so we got an 1864 armor roll on a final measure vest, and it's 1663 on stamina, 471 on firearms, 11% exotic damage resilience, and 9% skill haste with 56% ammo capacity. We also have two mods in it, two 266 stamina mods with 2.5% exotic damage resilience. And we'll go down to this. We got a final measure mask with 947 armor with 1351 stamina and 469 electronics with attributes of 11% exotic damage resilience and 10% damage to elites. We also have a electronic mod of 264 electronics with 3% skill haste. And we have a final measure knee pads of 1665 armor with 1662 electronics in it with 8% exotic damage resilience and 31% shot resistance and 12% damage to elites and 28% burn resistance. And the mods is a 263 electronic mod of 3% skill haste and a performance mod of 6% first aid self heal. And you can also see that we got a 1328 armor roll on a final measure backpack. That is 1665 electronics with 13,308 skill power, 51% ammo capacity, and the mods in it is a electronic mod of 266 electronics with 3% skill haste and 2 performance mods of 4% turret damage. And we can go down to the gloves. This is a final measure gloves with 967 armor roll, the 1396 electronic roll with attributes of 1183 assault rifle damage, 9% skill haste, and 16% critical hit damage. And you can go down next, and we have the last piece of a final measure holster classified set, of course, 979 armor roll with a 1321 firearms, 1379 stamina, and 1400 electronics with 7% skill haste, and a performance mod of 6% first aid self heal. So you can see I did split up my performance mods, 2 to 4% turret damage, and 2 of them was 6% first aid self heal. Now, granted that my chest piece could be leaps and bounds better in armor roll than it could be, and or already is, I think that my knees and my backpack is pretty well set for armor. And the rolls on all of these are pretty outstanding, a 95% roll advantage on all of these. And you can see that your mask and the gloves and the holster could be maxed at a 1001 armor roll, but I think I'm okay with what I've got right here. The main thing for the armor would actually be to boost up the chest piece. Now, one more thing before we get into showing you how the build does work. You can see that I got 136,000 heal right here, but you can go over here and you can see that my survivability is 193,336. So when I'm healing, there's like 60,000 or so health still to be healed to make it completely full. All 3 bars if you was pretty much dead. The thing is, that's a pretty good build, actually a pretty good heal. You could probably be at 1 bar and completely heal all the way up. Other than that, guys, what I'm going to do is show you 2 instances where I'm taking exotic damage and showing you how good the resistance will be for it. First will be the fire, second will be against a grenade. But before we get to those will not have commentary with those, but this will next. What happens next is I'm going to be showing you some DPS out of this and stuff like that, and showing you a little bit how much it can do. And we're not going to go out to the real world and show you this. What we're going to do is actually go right here and show you this in the shooting range. And I'm going to be popping and showing you that base right here. You see 15,434. So if you pop booster shot, that's competence going to be active plus your booster shot. Going to shoot for 19,292, and you can see that, you know, how many crits I'm getting and stuff like that. And you know, that's really good, considering that I do not have a lot to begin with on the DPS. I feel that that's actually quite a bit, you know, for what it is. And one more thing we're going to go over and tell y'all guys, you know, you may not know what final measure can do now, but I'm going to go from 1 or 2 pieces all the way to 6 pieces and tell you what they all do. Alright, if you have 2 pieces of final measure, and no, you do not have to have 6 pieces of classified gear pieces to actually get the full benefit of all 6, okay? What you need to do, you'll have to at least have 2 pieces of classified final measure to put with 4 other regular gear sets in order to get the filth and the 6 buffs. Alright, so, but I went all 6 pieces because, you know, that's the best way to go in my opinion, because you're getting more stats. Alright, so we'll go up here. If you have 1 piece or 2 pieces of final measure is 25% exotic damage resilience, 3 pieces is 15% protection from elites, 4 pieces is when in range of hostile grenades or mortars, diffuses them and adds grenades to your inventory, can only happen once every 8 seconds. Alright, now this is where all the goodness really starts. 5 pieces of final measure. That means 4 pieces regular and 5 pieces classified, or all 5 pieces would be classified. You got 15% more exotic damage resilience and 15% protection from elites. So that does mean that with 5 pieces, you could have 40% exotic damage resilience and 30% protection from elites. Now we go down to the 6 piece, and this is really nice. You will see that 6 piece is when a grenade is diffused, the player and all group members within 30 meters gain a buff based on the grenade type that was diffused. EMP and shot grenades increase your skill power by 20% for 8 seconds. Fragmentations and incendiary, which most of the time the enemies are going to be hitting you with these. The weapon damage is increased by 20% for 8 seconds, and if you get hit by a flashbang or tear gas, armor is increased by 20% for 8 seconds. Now this happens in the DZ against agents if they do this to you, or NPCs out in the world, or in the DZ. Now the thing is, most people will try to shock you in the DZ, and if they try to do something like that, then you know, hey, your skill power is going to increase by 20% for 8 seconds. So if you're running low skill power, then voila, you're going to have more skill power. And most people will try to shock the people that does run the shields. And honestly, a lot of times they're going to be trying to hit you with a frag too. So if they do that, they had better fucking watch out, because they better watch and see, because this is what the gear looks like. You can see it looks pretty wicked as shit. And if you actually good at the game, you'll know what people are running to begin with anyways. And when their stuff is activated, it actually shows what they're running. So a little icon. So the thing is, you better be watch what kind of grenades you do throw at a final measure build, because I'm telling you right now, they're going to tear that ass up if you throw the wrong one big time, because they could be low on DPS and then they gain 20% for 8 seconds, and this is for their whole group within 30 meters. So be careful if you're in the DZ going up against people that has final measure, because they're going to light that ass up. Or if they have a really good DPS with them, they're going to light your ass up a whole lot quicker, because 20% increase is insane. So you seen I could hit over 19,000 just with booster and competent activated at the same time. And if I didn't have that, then of course you can see that that's skill it's popped, so I get 16,977, and that's without the booster. So there you go, you're looking at 17,000 that I am going to be having just with my turret. If I go booster, then I'm over 19,000. If you hit me with a grenade that is incendiary or fragmentation grenade, that's going to boost me by 20%. So if I'm already hitting 19, you better watch your shit, because I'm going to hit you for over 20k a bullet, and that's not going to be really fun from a skill power based build, especially with final measure. Other than that, guys, hopefully you did enjoy the video. There will not be any more commentary from here on out. And if you did enjoy the video, give it a like. That'd be greatly appreciated. And guys, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, hit that bell and then click on notifications so you never miss another one of my videos. And guys, hopefully you enjoy the rest of the video. Until next time, this has been JustHitSquare. I will see you later.